Hello everyone, this is Ramya Rajendran. Today in this session, we'll be talking about what is organization and what is organizing and how organizations deals with organizing and what kind of different organization structures they have. Okay, it's going to be very important lectures. I request you to listen this very carefully. Okay, so right now I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay. So guys, I'll be explaining what is organizing first. Okay. You say any organization. Okay. So or even a common household, it is not possible to deal with it if you don't organize your things properly, because you have to manage your people in your household as well as you have to manage yourself, right? So it applies to your organization as well. You have to manage yourself, your tasks, your team's task as well as the other team members' task, because you have to really coordinate with different teams to get things done, right? Okay. So so you have in an organization there are different teams will be reporting to different managers, and these managers will be reporting to a common person, which might be a vice president, and he might be reporting to a CEO. So this kind of structure exists everywhere. Okay, this structure helps us people to perform their task very well, because they know what to do and what to expect. That's the real reason why do we have it. Okay, so why do we have this organization role? So let's see. So it is often said that good people can make any organization structure work. Some people even assert that vagueness in organization is a good thing in that it forces teamwork, since people know that they must cooperate to get anything done. However, there can be no doubt that good people and those who want to cooperate will work together most effectively if they know the parts they have to play in any team operations and the way their roles relate to one another. This is as true in business or government as it is in football or any other symphony orchestra or in your home. Designing and maintaining these systems of roles is basically the managerial function of organizing. For an organization role to exist and to be meaningful to people, it must be it must be incorporating verifiable objectives and few major duties and activities involved, and an understood area of discretion or authority, so that the person who's filling the role knows what he or she is supposed to do. Okay, an organization structure should be designed to clarify what to do, what tasks, and who's responsible for what results, in order to remove obstacles to performance caused by confusion and uncertainty of assignment, and to furnish decision making and communication networks reflecting and supporting enterprise objectives. Okay, so organization is a word where many people use loosely. Some would say it includes all the behaviors of all participants. Others would equate it to with a total system of social and cultural relationships. Still, others refers to an enterprise. Okay, so in this book in this your textbook of yours, the term is generally used in reference to a formalized structure of roles, although it is sometimes used to denote an enterprise. Okay, so, what it actually involves? It involves the identification and classification of required activities. So, any department should identify and classify the activities, and then they group the activities to form a team. Okay, and they assign that particular task to one person, and that is called delegation. Okay, the provision for coordination. I mean, it can be horizontally or vertically throughout the or enterprise. It should be happening. Okay, that's why we are having an organizing function. Okay, so what is an organization? So it's nothing but a formalized intentional structure of roles or positions. So when you have people, you have to group them together, and you have to make them work. And you have to give them some designations and roles, and you have to tell them what to do. So you can't have everybody telling a person what to do. So there should be one person who's doing that. Okay, that's why we have the superior subordinate relationship. Okay, so to make things work, we have this organizing stuff, and that's what organizations do. Okay, so there are two different kinds of organization, the formal and informal ones. Okay, let's see what are they. Okay, I have a small illustration here. Okay, maybe by looking at this you'll be able to understand what is a formal and informal organization. Formal organization means the intentional structure of roles in a formally organized enterprise. Describing an organization as formal, however, doesn't mean there is anything inherently inflexible or unduly confining about it. If a manager is to organize well, the structure must furnish an environment in which individual performance, both present and future, contributes most effectively to group goals. A formal organization must be flexible. There should be a room for discretion, for beneficial utilization of creative talents, and for recognizing individual likes and capacities in most of the formal organizations. Yet, individual effort in a group situation must be channeled toward group and organizational goals. For an informal organization, it's completely different. It's quite opposite of the formal one. Okay, it is an any joint personal activity without conscious joint purpose, although contributing to joint results. It is much easier to ask for help on an organization problem from someone you know personally, even if he or she may be in a different department, than from someone you know as a person, but you are directly reporting to him. But you may not having a direct contact with him personally, but only for the in the organization chart you'll be like reporting to him. The informal organization is a network of interpersonal relationship that arises when people associate with each other. It is in these relationships are not appearing on organization chart, but it might include a machine shop group, the sixth floor crowd, the Friday evening bowling gang, or morning coffee regulars. Okay, so it is nothing but a network of interpersonal relationships that arise when people associate with each other. Whereas in a formal organization, it is an intentional structure of roles formed in an organized enterprise. Okay, so I think you are able to understand what is the real difference between the formal and informal organization. So the structure here really represents how it has been like interconnected in the organization structure. The manager of this team is closely associated with the whole team. So because they go to breakfast together, so they're called as breakfast group. And these people work together in the mornings. Maybe they do work out or go for a walk. So that's why they're together. And there's another people set of people who are like very closely associated because they play chess. Here, these all the team members are associated with the another manager. So here, this team members and this head is completely left out. So this is how informal groups can form.